the third number of the Java suite is called Hari-Hassaar, and that is a country fair, a sort of a Kermess. I have drawn and will keep drawing analogies between the Java suite and the Albanian Iberia. And in fact, the third number of the Iberia is also a sort of country fair. It is the Fête Dieu à Séville. So the place in the cycle is interesting. And there are this kind of correspondence throughout the cycle between the two works. So it is a country fair. So it is a bit noisy, it is joyous, it's full of amusement. And at the beginning you can clearly hear the sort of the tambourine and the little percussion instruments. And it's out of this material that emerges what could be said to be the first theme, which is completely pentatonic. So that kind of music, which, again, Godowsky being Godowsky, he can never be pentatonic for too long before introducing a foreign element in that game. So here the music westernizes before getting back to. So it's this sort of back and forth tug of war between West and East that is prevalent in the cycle. But there is one element that is interesting, is that this is the only piece in which he records using two themes that are native themes. And he built pretty much the whole work on them. And it's interesting because they are extremely simple in their design. In fact, the two of them only use 3 notes. So the first one is that's one theme. The second one does and that's it. And with that material that seems not very promising on paper, he will actually build a very successful movement. The good thing for him is that because of the simplicity, it's a bit like Beethoven really, who uses material that seems not very promising and then manages to build an amazing piece on it. Well, it's similar. Because they are so primal, they will be able, well, they will be willing to be pulled in various ways to do different things. So, first of all, Godowsky will harmonize them in different ways. In minor, so but also in major. And that's true for both. The second one can be done in minor. Or in major. And that already gives different character to the. Then he can combine them and put them both together. So. He can have one at half the speed. So. So he twists them and turns them in all kind of directions and built his architecture among them. He also has this thing of which I talked previously, is this art of variation, that every time the theme comes, even if it's harmonized exactly the same way with the same pianistic layout, there will be some subtle differences. So for example, the first time it really comes in the major, you have. when it comes back 30 seconds later, you already have a subtle thing which you can spot. So there is a bit more decoration in the middle voice. And the third time it comes in that, guys, we have... So at this game, he's really an absolute master. He never repeats without changing something. There is one tiny episode which is totally unrelated thematically, which conveys an atmosphere of dance extremely successfully. It's a sort of break in the festivities, a moment of rest. Then the music comes back and builds up. And the end is one of those insane moments in Godowsky's music where he writes for the nigh on impossible. So he asks for a basic tempo that is already, I would say, too fast. And from that point onwards, he asks you to accelerate while he keeps making the music much more difficult. So the themes that we heard in these guys comes then augmented. So and throughout all this, we are supposed to accelerate. So and then finally, as fast as possible. Which may just about be possible in a recording. In a concert, it's heading for disaster. And it's interesting, Godowsky, we know that he was a fabulous pianist. He only recorded one extract of the Java Suite, and certainly not this one. It seems to me that he's unrealistic a lot of the time in his demands. And in fact, that's something about which I want to talk, but I will do that in the next episode.